Hey everyone, this is Jacob again with another video on the Samoan grammar. This one's less about grammar, more about coping phrases or just common phrases that you might find handy in terms of just getting around or getting to know people. I'll try and make this shorter and more succinct than the last video. Again, if you haven't watched it and you want to get a little bit of a refresher or some baseline understanding, I'll put a link either on the screen or below. Again, that was on basic pronunciation, alphabet, that kind of stuff. But today, again, kind of looking at coping phrases, things to start using right away. So we'll talk first about greetings. Then we'll talk about some basic questions, again, trying to provide some basic structure, and then hopefully you can plug in your own words. But we'll definitely go over some of the basic question words in Samoan, some common answers, and some getting to know you type of phrases. So first, greetings. I'll kind of go through these, but you'll see on the left-hand side, I've got some standard greetings, and then I've got the responses on the other side of the table here. I'll read through them so that you can kind of know what they sound like. Definitely, I mean, if you're trying to learn, practice along. Say it out loud. You can't learn any other way. So I'll kind of go through, starting at the top left, and then going down that column, and then going down the table. So the first word being talofa. Talofa is that's typically what you hear is the Samoan word for hello. It's honestly, in my experience, you don't hear it nearly as often as some of the other phrases that we'll see down further in the table, but it absolutely means hello. A common response to that is saying talofa lava. It's just saying hello back. Lava is just kind of like an accentuator word. We might cover that a little bit more in future videos. Next on down, malo le soifua. You can see the two macrons over the A and the O. Malo le soifua. It's still polite and it's still pretty formal. In my experience, a much more common way or common greeting. The response to that would be malo fo'i le soifua. You might see something shorter like below. You'll see malo fo'i or just malo lava. But interestingly, this kind of translates to congratulations on life. Anyway, little tidbit. Going down again, you see just plain malo. Very, very, very common. Basically translates to the English version of hi. And then the proper response being malo foi or malo lava. Goodbye can be to fa soifua. It can just be fa soifua. It can just be fa. The most polite, I guess I put that down there. Fa just means sort of bye, informal. Fa soifua is much more formal. To fa soifua is probably the most formal. The responses are just the same as the words on the left. Toi whitelawai, pretty common. It's not overly polite. It's just more formal than toi ftawi. And really, toi whitelawai just means, we'll see you again. Toi ftawi means more or less the same thing. It's just a little bit less formal. The last row on the table there is manuia leaso. Or you could say manuia le afiafi or manuia le po. Aso, afiafi, and po are just really times of day in Samoan. Aso is the general word for day. Afiafi is more like afternoon, evening. I'd say afternoon. And po is night or evening. So again, the response to that is saying manuia fo'i. You'll notice that fo'i often is what you'll see there on the right-hand side of the table. It basically means as well. So manuia fo'i le aso, manuia fo'i le afiafi, and manuia fo'i le po. All right, next up I'm just trying to introduce some question words because again, this is going to be the building blocks of being able to have conversations with folks. So I'm going over the standard English kind of question words of who, what, when, where, why, how many, and what they are in Samoan. Trying to give a translation and an example because again, what we'll do is we'll use these words later. We'll plug them into sentences and things like that. Whenever I have something in parentheses, it means that it's there a lot, but it doesn't necessarily have to be there in order to stand in for that question word. So first up is who. In Samoan, this translates to oai, and really ai is the word for who. So in a question, you could say oai fafinilia, and that just translates to who's that woman over there. What? is olea. In Samoan, an example would be olealenamia. Olealenamia. Just translates to what's that thing? When. This is not just one single word in Samoan. There's a future when and then there's a past when. So, for example, in future, the Samoan word is afia. So you might say afia te aluai, which means when will you be going in the future. In the past, it would be anafia. So in a sentence, it would be anafia te sawai. When did you come? Anafia sai sawai. Where? This is fea, or more commonly just ofea. So in the sentence, oferiki, that just means where's the, well, in this case, it's where's the key, or, you know, that actually could be where's the tea, like where's the hot drink, that kind of thing. Why? Aisia. Aisia we avile pepe. Why did you take the baby, or why have you taken the baby? These are really poor sentence examples, sorry. But either way, Aisia is someone for why. How is fatpe fea? So fatpe fea ne aluye. How will you be going? Fatpe fea. How many is fea? And typically that's preceded by a, the letter E. So e fea otausanga just means how, it means how old are you, but it literally translates to how many of your years are there, for lack of a better translation. Anyway, all I do is I, again, download the slides. I'll put links below. Just save these for later. Again, these are building blocks to us kind of building up our ability to form our own sentences. Okay, next up. So here you see some of the same question words. These are kind of get to know you phrases. Again, we're trying to do coping phrases for this video. So again, I'll kind of read from top to bottom just to kind of demo it. But these are things, again, you can kind of memorize or learn or whatever, and they'll make more sense as you learn grammar, learn more of the Samoan sentence structure and things like that. So greeting, very, very common. Oa mai oi. Oa mai oi means how are you? The most common response, if you're doing good, would be manuia fa'afetai. That just means I'm good, thanks. Manuia fa'afetai. A response that might follow after that would be ayaoi. Ayaoi means, and what about you? And the person who originally asked the question would be, oh, you know, manuia foi fa'afetai. I'm also doing good. You might ask someone what their name is. And in Samoan, there's a lot of honorific words that you would use to pay respect to someone. So if you know those words, you'd want to pull those out for people that are, you know, certainly if they're a chief or something like that. But just in general, it's just a nice way of using those words for people you don't know, things like that. So what's your name for just everybody else would be Owailo Ingoa, or like a child. You might say Owailo Ingoa. Ingoa is the non-honorific word for name. If it's someone you are trying to be honorific to, you would say Owailo Suafa. Owailo Suafa. And then the response would be O Lo'u Ingoa, O, you know, Jacob in my case. You'll never hear, or you should never hear anyone say O Lo'u Suafa O, because you never use honorific words for yourself. You only use them for other people. So O Lo'u Ingoa O Jacob. You might ask someone where they come from. O fea ete malanga mai yai. O fea ete malanga mai yai. Again, where do you come from? The answer would be O te sau mai America in my case, because I come from America or California, so California. O te sau mai America y California. Next question down. This is just a how many kind of question. You could probably come up with something else. E toa fia o whanau. And that just is how many children do you have? And notice that the word fia is there, but it's preceded by this word toa. If you're ever counting people, you put toa in front of it. So that's just a little random rule. But e toa fia o whanau. And the answer would be e toa, and you name a number. So I'll have vocab in the next slide about numbers. But you would say, maybe if I have 2 children, I would say, e toa lua o whanau. I have 2 children. Last sentence there, Oani mea ete fiafiai. This is kind of a question of what are some things that you like, and then you might name off Ote fiafia le basketki, maybe you like basketball, so basketki is basketball, or maybe you say like Ote fiafia me ai Samoa, maybe you say I like Samoan food, something like that. But either way, again, this is sort of placeholders. You can plug in whatever it is that you like. This is just sort of meant to give a basic framework of how you can build these kinds of things for yourself. So real quick, kind of like a vocab list of like what might be included in common responses. Some of these are, kind of social niceties, the pleases and thank yous, which are really important. And then I've also put in numbers here because I couldn't figure out a better place to slot these in, but you'd probably need them at some point. So I'll go ahead again and demo the pronunciation, and you'll see the English translation on the right hand side. So first off is fa'amole mole, or fa'amole mole lava. And this is Samoan for please. Lava just makes it's just even more. It's like pretty please kind of thing. So fa'amole mole. Fa'aftai. Fa'aftai means thank you. And this is a hard one because there's a glottal stop in the very beginning, so it sounds like you should say this. Fa'afetai. And it's true, but most of the time it goes by so fast and that glottal stop almost gets swallowed up, so you don't hear it really, really clearly. So it sounds like fa'aftai. Fa'aftai tele or fa'aftai lava. Again, tele and lava just accentuate it. So you can say, oh, fa'aftai tele lava or fa'aftai lava. Tulo or tulo lava. This is someone for excuse me. Like if you have to walk in front of someone or something like that, you might just bow a little bit and say tulo or tulo lava. If you're sitting around and you've got to uncross your legs or something like that, and you would say tulo lava just to say, hey, pardon me. Manuia, you notice a lot of the responses were manuia. That's a very common Samoan response to, oh, I'm blessed, I'm fine. It literally translates to blessed. Manuia. Feololo. Feololo means, oh, I'm okay, it's so-so. So if someone asked you, how are you? Oh, amai oi. You might say, oh, feololo. Something like that. Again, this one's a little hard because you got a lot of those O's together. So, but again, it kind of gets slurred together to feololo, feololo. Manaya. Manaya is the Samoan word for nice or pleasant. So, you might remark like, oh, that's, manaya, that's very nice. Manayala. Again, I think in the previous lesson, which again, there should be a link to, yoi means yes, ioi, and leai means no. Lele is good in Samoan. Lele. Notice it's not lele. Lele means to fly. Lele. So you really want to use that diphthong at the end. Lele. So close down that sound that the letter I makes. And leanga. Leanga is bad. Real quick with Samoan numbers, I'll go ahead and again I'll read through. But basically you've got 1 through 10, and pretty much after that you can count to quite a bit. So we'll do tasi, lua, tolu, fa, lima, ono, fitu, valu, iwa, sefuru. So once you get to 11, you're basically just going to say 10-1, and 12 would be 10-2. So you'd say sfurutasi. Sfurutasi is 11. 12 would be sfurulua, sfurutolu, sfurufa. So you get the idea. 10 plus the one-digit number. When it comes to when you get to your 20s, 30s, 40s, you precede sefuru, which is the word for 10, with a number. So 20 would be lua sefuru. 30 would be toru sefuru. You get the idea. When you get to 21, you still say 20, and then you just add the 1. So lua sefuru tasi is 21. 34 would be toru sefuru fa. 45 fa sefuru lima, that kind of thing. 100 is salau, and again it'll follow the exact same pattern, except you will say, like for 101, you say just like in English, you say and the one. So salau maritasi, mas and in Samoan. So salau maritasi, and you can kind of go on down. So salau is 100, afe is 1,000, and then miliona is a million. So that one should be pretty easy to remember, miliona. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, kind of like I did in the last video, I tried to put together a vocab list. There's no great rhyme or reason as to why these letters are in there other than the fact that they appear in the examples, but I'll kind of go through them, and the ones that we haven't talked about I'll try and touch on. Soifua, again, it's one of those honorific words. It's the honorific word for life. It's part of that common greeting that we talked about earlier on. Ingoa is the common word for name. Suafa, the honorific word for name. Toi, you saw this in a couple of the previous slides. This is a very common prefix. It kind of means again. So toi whelawai, toi whetaui means see again. Whelawai, like we already talked about, is to know one another. Whetaui is more like to fit, to meet. That's why whetaui is a little bit more slang. Aso is day. Daiau is morning. We didn't talk about that one before. Afiafi, again, is evening. Bo is night. Fafine is woman. Alus is the verb to go. Sao is the verb to come. Ki, it translates to key, but anyway, it's not a great word. Pepe can be baby or butterfly. Ave is the verb to take. Tausanga is the word for year in Samoan. Malanga is the word for travel or to journey. It's a little bit maybe a nicer word than sao. So if you're asking someone where do you come from, you can definitely say ofe te sawai, but you could also say ofe te malanga mai. It's just a little bit more, I think, more polite, I suppose. Whanau is children. Tane or tamaloa can be the Samoan word for man. Teine is for girl. Tama is for boy. Tole. Tole is kind of like it's like a common sort of way of getting sort of guys' attention that you're kind of familiar with. It's definitely not respectful. You would do it to someone your own age, or your friend, something like that. You wouldn't do it to like some guy you don't know. Tole. Sunga is the equivalent for girl. Sunga. Tama is the Samoan word for father. Tina is the Samoan word for mother. Lo matua is the word for sort of an older woman. And again, that's not like a bad thing in Samoan like it might be sort of in the US. It's kind of respectful. Toyaina. Toyaina is the equivalent for an older man. And then tamaiti is the Samoan word for like children. So again, hopefully that's helpful. Definitely, if you like this video, if you want to see more stuff like it, please put a thumbs up, hit subscribe, leave me questions. Again, I'm kind of making these. I don't know if anyone's going to want them. So definitely let me know if it's helpful. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.